PewDiePie has announced he is rescinding his offer to donate to the Anti-Defamation League after a fan backlash. Wow. Bravo. I was upset. I was offended. I thought PewDiePie was selling out, and no, he just doesn't understand, I guess. I guess it's kind of fair, but he's going to backtrack. A lot of people are outraged. I'll give you the quick context. They alleged a conspiracy that he was being blackmailed. In the past, the Anti-Defamation League has tried to get PewDiePie censored, and so the fact that he would give them money was a huge mistake. Not only that, the ADL has caused massive collateral damage to tons of smaller YouTubers, including myself. I say smaller, I know this channel is it's not the smallest channel in the world, but I'm not 100 million subscribers like PewDiePie. The ADL, while its cause sounds noble, does a lot of really messed up things. And I disagree with their actions. While I can certainly agree with going after, say, anti-Semitism, I don't agree with censorship. That's what they advocate for. But they also have been accused of using mafia-like tactics. I'm going to show you there's this story going around where apparently the ADL has overtly claimed that they will falsely accuse someone of being a Nazi because they know it will destroy them. And it has to do with Iceland. It's complicated. That's my opinion. I have to be very careful. I'll read and I'll show you what everyone's talking about. But first, let's read the story about PewDiePie not giving money to the ADL. The YouTuber said he didn't know a lot about the ADL. Forgive me, I have a sneeze coming on. Felix Schellberg is pulling his $50,000 pledge to the Anti-Defamation League after his initial announcement drew backlash from parts of his fan base. In a video uploaded today, Schellberg said that he didn't know much about the ADL when he made the pledge. It was only after uploading the video and seeing feedback about the organization that he admitted he didn't know a lot of things that surfaced throughout this whole thing about the charity. He made the original announcement during an unboxing of a special YouTube play button to celebrate surpassing 100 million subscribers. Quote, I made the mistake of picking a charity that I was advised to instead of picking a charity that I'm personally passionate about, Schellberg said, which is 100% my fault. Schellberg previously addressed the criticism against his donation in a recently deleted tweet, which we have, acknowledging that, quote, making a donation to the ADL doesn't make sense to everyone, especially since they've outright spoken against me. A spokesperson for the ADL told The Verge at the time that they learned about the potential donation when everyone else did, when he made the announcement on his channel yesterday. The original announcement about his donation to the ADL comes after Schellberg stated he wanted to move past his former controversies. Okay, well, they say he's still going to donate $50,000, which he received as a sponsorship from Honey. He hasn't announced which charity will receive the money, but he said he plans to take his time with it. So apparently The Verge reached out. But here's the original comment. So I got to say this. I think Honey sponsored his video, but additionally, he had to make a donation to the ADL because of the controversies. When the fans got outraged, PewDiePie tried defending himself. It wasn't enough. He backtracked. Based on this statement where he said that, he's donating to the ADL, which doesn't make sense. He wanted to show people that he was moving on. It says to me that he knows, what the controversy was, and he knows about the ADL. Now he's claiming he didn't know a lot about it. I kind of don't believe it. But you know what, man? If your fans are mad and you decide you're going to, okay, I can't do this, I didn't realize. I think it's fair to say he didn't realize he'd get a backlash. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done it in the first place. So that's fair. Here's what I said initially. The ADL has caused collateral damage to tens of thousands of small creators' livelihoods. PewDiePie is not being a bigger man. He's taking a payday on a milestone he reached thanks to the YouTube community. He then funds an organization that will get people in that community banned. Here's the thing. Okay. The ADL goes after a lot of channels. Many of them are breaking the rules. Some of them aren't. The ADL has gone after some channels that they do have bad opinions, but they didn't break the rules of YouTube, and YouTube has then gone and deleted them. Well, if you want to make an argument about hate speech and breaking the rules, I hear you. Even though I disagree, I believe free speech is more important. However, when my channel gets demonetized and deranked, and I actually agree with the ADL on fighting hate, but I just disagree with their tactics, well, that's a problem. If the ADL doesn't care about the smaller channels and the individuals, then they're not doing good. They're hurting the innocent. 17,000 channels were recently deleted by YouTube, in part because of the Anti-Defamation League campaign. While some of these channels, yes, are probably overt hate speech, again, different argument if you think they should stay, a lot of them are comedy. A lot of them are jokes. Some of them probably push back on hate speech, but the algorithm can't tell. And worse still, some of them are probably educational and historical channels, because we've seen that too. That's the kind of recklessness we see from the ADL. But it's not just that, because listen, I'm not going to blame the ADL mostly because YouTube can't police things properly. Take a look at this story, though. It says, well, actually, hold on. I'm going to do this first because I got a couple stories. ADL calls on House leadership to take action after Rep. Omar's anti-Semitic tweets. I want to highlight this because this is something I think the ADL has done good. It's not just black and white. Some people got angry with me before. I don't care. I believe this is fair, important, and rational. The ADL has called out Ilhan Omar. That is respectable. They have called on House leadership to take action against her. That is respectable. You want to praise the good behavior and criticize the bad behavior. Telling people to denounce Omar's statements, I think, is the right thing to do. She can still make offensive comments if she wants, fine. They're just saying, hey, say something about it. But when they go after Iceland, this is where things get really weird. Iceland's proposed ban on circumcision rattles Jews and Muslims. This is the story. It's from 2018. This is just some NBC News to give you context. Iceland wanted to ban male circumcision. Okay. Banning is a bit strong, but I probably lean towards agreeing with it. It's a complicated issue. I'm not going to come out like some, men's rights person and be like, end the... Whoa, hold on. I definitely lean towards you shouldn't be doing this. So, I should say I heavily lean towards that, but I'm not, I don't know enough. That's the real issue. I understand the arguments to an extent. This is not my battle. I don't know much about this. What I can say is I think we probably should not do this anymore. It seems a little archaic, but there are religious people who are upset. Okay, and I understand they're upset, but I still disagree with them. Here's the thing. The Anti-Defamation League doesn't want Iceland to ban male circumcision. This is back in March 23rd, 2018. They said ADL urges Iceland drop bill banning male circumcision. Now, you may be asking, Tim, what does any of this have to do with Pewdiepie? Listen, Pewdiepie gave money to an organization that has caused harm to YouTubers. These YouTubers told all of their friends to subscribe to Pewdiepie. By turning around and donating to the ADL, he's not just hurting YouTubers, he's promoting mafia-like tactics, perceived mafia-like tactics. Look at this story. How do you think the ADL tried to get Iceland to stop? It says, in a letter addressed to the parliamentary committee discussing the proposal, ADL CEO Jonathan Greenblatt said, the proposal to ban male circumcision is contrary to basic principles of religious freedom and deeply offensive to Jews and Muslims. The commandment of Brit Milah, circumcision on the 8th day, is a fundamental religious rite in Judaism and universally practiced by all families who identify as Jewish across the broad spectrum of practice. This is why I say it's not so cut and dry. I can actually respect a religious argument to an extent, though I am not a religious person and I tend to disagree with things like this. You've got to be careful about how you approach progress, in that sense. I'm talking about the left in this regard. It's complicated, and admittedly, I can't say I know enough to actually engage in this conversation. What I can point out is there's a link. I'm going to now click this link. It says in a letter. There you go. You watched me click the link and the letter loaded up. I didn't believe this was real. I kid you not. I saw this and my reaction was, it must be fake. You know why? In this letter, they say don't ban male circumcision, but how do you think they try and entice Iceland to not do it? Well, here's what they say. ADL has studied the pervasiveness of anti-Semitic content on social media, and we know that a relatively small number of extremists are able to amplify their message quickly and broadly through social media. ADL regularly reports on such phenomena, and we will report on extremist praise for Iceland. We urge you to consider the significant media attention in the US and internationally paid to ADL reports on extremism. In the past 6 months alone, our research and experts have been featured on CNN and other cable TV channels, NBC and other broadcast TV, on 60 Minutes, the most watched TV news magazine in America, and in leading newspapers including the New York Times and the Washington Post. Given that 28% of Iceland's tourists came from North America in 2016, Iceland's standing in the US should be of great concern from an economic perspective. We are confident that the vast majority of American tourists will avoid a country whose reputation is associated with Nazism, even if that association is not justified. Individually, any of these three arguments should convince you to oppose a ban on male circumcision. Collectively, they should compel you to make the right decision and oppose the proposed ban. The ADL said, "We will report on any praise that anti-Semites throw your way, and we're confident even if the association isn't justified, it will hurt you economically." Doesn't that sound a bit mafioso? And that's why PewDiePie should not donate to the ADL. I didn't believe it was real. I told my friends, I said, it's not real. It's fake news. And then I saw this, adl.org. You can see it right up there in the browser. And this is a page on the adl.org. It's all there. And when you click the link they posted, they're straight up publicizing that they will smear you as a Nazi to destroy you economically. Smart move backing out PewDiePie. I got a couple more segments coming up in a few minutes. Stick around. I will see you shortly.